Welcome to the Oster Horse Grooming video. For more than 70 years, horse owners and professional groomers have trusted the Oster name for the best in equestrian grooming products. During that time, our goal has always been to provide those who ride, train, and care for horses with a complete line of products, including clippers, trimmers, blades, lubricants, shampoos, and other grooming products. This video will give you step-by-step instructions on trimming, bathing, and clipping your horse. It will also demonstrate simple maintenance procedures for clippers. Soon you'll be enjoying the many benefits that come with keeping your horse trimmed and clipped. Trimming can make a dramatic difference in your horse's overall appearance in just a few minutes. It gives your horse a neater, more attractive appearance for special occasions and enhances his value. Body clipping makes grooming your horse much easier and greatly reduces the time it takes to cool him out after exercise. Now, thanks to Oster, anyone can learn to trim and clip their horse. All it takes is just a little practice. First, let's become familiar with your equipment. The Oster Groommaster Professional Clipper is used primarily for overall body clipping. 3 blades are available: a medium blade for close, smooth clipping, a fine blade for very close show trimming, and a coarse blade with a 3/16 cut. The Oster A5 clipper is designed for precise clipping around the face, legs, and ears of the horse. It can also be used, if necessary, for body clipping. 17 blades are available for a variety of uses. For most applications, you will need a number 10 blade for coarse leg or body clipping, a number 15 blade for close body clipping, a number 30 blade for fine trimming, and a number 40 blade for very fine trimming. Both the A5 and the Groommaster feature a detachable blade system that makes changing blades quick and easy. To change blades, simply lift the blade away from the clipper and slide it off the tongue. Insert the new blade and return it to the cutting position. Finally, the Oster Finisher Trimmer is perfect for trimming fine hair around the ears and muzzle because its quiet operation is less likely to disturb the horse. Be sure to read and understand the instruction manual before using your Oster clipper or trimmer. And remember to put safety first. Always use a grounded outlet and never use the clippers in wet conditions. If your horse has never been clipped or trimmed, it's extremely important to introduce the horse to the equipment. Most horses can be trained to accept clippers, but it does take time and patience. If needed, have a helper hold the horse until you're sure the horse is quiet. Let the horse sniff the clippers as you hold them in your hand, unplugged with the cord still rolled up. Rub them over the horse's neck, working up to his face and the areas you plan to trim. Next, uncoil the cord and let it dangle. Now you're ready to plug in the clippers and turn it on. Stand several feet away when you do this. Move the clippers back and forth. Watch your horse's reaction. Give the horse time to grow accustomed to the sound. When the horse lets you, move closer with the clippers running. Place the blade against the back of the hand and stroke the horse with your palm to muffle the sound. Then, stroke the horse with the clippers running, sliding them lightly down his neck and shoulder. Use this technique on all the areas you plan to trim or clip, especially around the head and ears, until the horse accepts the clippers with a relaxed attitude. Trimming is the removal of long hairs from the horse's jaws, ears, muzzle, bridle path, and lower legs. Trimming gives the horse a cleaner, more refined appearance, especially for show purposes. It also makes bridling and grooming the head and legs easier. You will need the following pieces of equipment: Oster A5 clipper, Oster Finisher trimmer, blade wash, brush, and rag. Keep in mind, however, that whiskers, fetlocks, and long hair on ears and legs provide natural protection from cold, mud, dust, and insects. Pastured horses need this protection and should not be trimmed as closely as stabled show horses. Be sure you know the breed standard and show requirements before you begin. Start with the lower legs using the A5 clipper with a number 30 blade. For all trimming, except when noted, you should move the clipper in the direction of the hair. Run the clipper down the legs with the blades pointing down. Remove only the long ends of hair that hang below the fetlock joint and the long hair that grows from the knees and hocks down the back of the tendons. You may find it easier to trim the fetlock area and the hollow of the heel if you pick up the foot. To trim the hair around the coronary band, the hairline at the top of the hoof, clip upward against the hair, lifting the clippers away from the hoof to form a short, even hairline. A more drastic technique for trimming the lower legs is called booting up. With this technique, you use a number 10 blade, sometimes called a leg blade. Clip the hair closely all around the leg from the coronary band to the knee or hock, where you taper off the clipping to blend it with the natural hair. This technique is especially useful for white legs and for show purposes, but it's not for every horse. If your horse's hair is light near the roots, booting up can give the leg a scalped appearance. He'll also have less protection against wet and cold. When you're finished with the legs, it's time to trim the face, again using a number 30 blade. Start with the long whiskers on the muzzle. Press the clipper firmly down and, in this case, work against the direction in which the whiskers grow. To trim the jaw, turn the clippers upside down and run them toward the horse's chin. Trim only the long hairs that hang down. To trim the ears, use the finisher trimmer. First, gently squeeze the ear shut with your hand. Run the clippers down the edge of the ear, trimming only the long hairs that stick out. For a formal showing, clip the inside of the ears clean. To trim around the eyes, place your thumb on the eye and trim only the long hairs, not the eyelashes. To trim the bridle path, use the finisher trimmer or the A5 with a number 40 blade. Clip forward from the starting point of the bridle path to just behind the bump of the pole, about an inch in length. It's easier if you stand on a stool or bale of hay. Work from the mane to the forelock. Don't try to reach up the front of the horse's face to trim the bridle path. The dangling cord could upset the horse. To trim the bridle path for show, consult the breed standards. Some are as long as 6 to 8 inches. When you finish with the bridle path, your horse is fully trimmed. Bathing is a necessary preparation for clipping a horse. Trying to clip a dirty horse with matted hair is very frustrating and quickly dulls the blades on any clipper. To bathe the horse, you will need the following equipment: a halter whose color won't run when it gets wet, large bucket and large sponge, a grooming mitt or plastic curry comb for scrubbing, a sweat scraper, Oster shampoo, several large towels, and a cooler. First, wet the horse down all over using warm water. Dilute the shampoo. Then use a sponge to apply it to the coat. Work the shampoo into the coat and mane, just as if you were shampooing your own scalp. Keep the soapy areas wet at all times. When you rinse, start at the top of the neck and work downward and backward, massaging the skin with your fingers or mitt while you run water just above the area. Unless your horse is unconcerned about the hose, wash the head with a sponge or towel. Use very little or no soap, and be careful not to get water into his eyes and ears. We recommend you use Oster's Easy On Eyes shampoo for horses. Quickly scrape off the excess water. Clean the tail by wetting it and applying some shampoo. Work it in thoroughly and rinse. This is also a good time to use an Oster detangler for the tail and mane area. Before the coat dries, apply a silicone coat dressing to the neck, body, and legs. Plan to shampoo the horse several hours before you clip for the coat to dry. During that time, make sure your horse stays in a draft-free area. When the horse's coat is dry and warm to your touch, you're ready to begin clipping. The purpose of body clipping is to shorten the winter coat to a length slightly less than a summer coat. Body clipping prevents overheating and excessive sweating during hard work. It cuts down on the time for cooling out and makes grooming easier. Instead of looking shaggy and unkempt, your horse has a sleek, neat appearance. A body clip does remove a horse's natural protection against the elements. Extra care should be taken to keep him out of drafty areas and protect him with a blanket, sheet, cooler, or turnout rug when he's not being ridden. You should body clip your horse only after the winter coat is grown in. If you clip while the coat is still coming in, you will have to re-clip in a month or so. After the initial cut, a body clip is usually required every 8 to 10 weeks, depending on regrowth. Do not clip after the winter coat starts to shed, or you will damage the summer coat that is beginning to grow in. Also keep in mind that some horses that grow excessive hair coats or that fail to shed are clipped for the summer. Before you clip, you must first decide what type of clip you want to use. There are 3 basic styles of body clipping: the full clip, the hunter clip, and the trace clip. For this video, we'll be demonstrating a full body clip. If you have decided to do another style, use masking tape to outline the areas you want to clip. This makes the job much easier. The trace clip is very practical for pleasure horses, especially for fall and winter riding. Only the parts that sweat the most are clipped, leaving a hair coat for natural protection, like wearing a vest or unzipping a jacket. There are 2 versions of the trace clip, the strip clip and the standard trace clip. For the strip clip, only the belly, chest, and narrow strip down the neck are clipped, so that the horse may not require blanketing. For the standard trace clip, the belly, chest, and body are clipped to a line along the side, with hair left on the legs. Clipping may extend along the sides of the neck and hindquarters, or up into the flanks. The standard trace clip is popular for hunters, lesson horses, trail horses, and steeplechasers. Depending on the extent of the clip, it may require blanketing. The second basic style of body clipping is the hunter clip, traditionally used for field hunters. For the hunter clip, the body, neck, and head are clipped with hair left on the legs and a saddle patch for natural protection. The hunter clip does, however, require blanketing. The full body clip is the third basic style. The body, head, and legs are completely clipped, leaving only a mane and tail untouched. The full body clip is the only clip suitable for formal showing, especially for saddle horses, western, and breed shows. It also requires full blanketing. Begin by gathering up the equipment you will need: the Oster Groommaster and A5 clipper, a finisher trimmer, blade wash and bowl for cleaning the blade, a rag and small brush for cleaning hair from the blades, a tail bandage, masking tape, and a blanket. Bandage the tail so hairs are not accidentally cut. First, use a cross tie if you know the horse is quiet to clip. Otherwise, have a helper hold the horse with a halter and shank. Begin with a groommaster using a fine blade, unless your horse has an extremely coarse, heavy coat. Start clipping in a fairly insensitive area. The shoulder is an ideal starting point. The smooth curves and trim surface will give you a feel for how the clipper works. When clipping, always work directly against the direction of the hair. Take care to keep your clipper blades flat against the skin. Don't push the clipper too fast. Use long, fairly slow strokes and overlap each stroke an inch or two, about 1/3 the width of the blade. Always keep your free hand on the horse to anticipate what he's going to do. Once you become comfortable with operating the clippers, clipping the horse is a fairly straightforward process. Just remember to divide the body into small sections as you clip and work on one section at a time, usually moving from the rump forward. To finish the rump, create a triangle that points upward from the top of the tail. Then, using a light touch and going with the grain, blend the triangle with the clipped area. Always be sure to cut against the grain, especially in areas like the flank, where the hair whirls and reverses itself. Be especially careful in sensitive areas, such as the belly. You may have a problem with clipper tracks, lines of shorter and longer hair. They are sometimes caused by dull or misaligned blades, but they can also be caused by failing to clip directly against the hair. To eliminate clipper tracks, just go over the area again, keeping the blades flat against the horse's skin. For increased efficiency, be sure to clean the blades frequently during use. A high-pitched laboring sound indicates that the blades need to be cleaned. Failure to clean blades will often rapidly overheat blades and dull them quickly. With the clipper running, dip only the blades in a small amount of blade wash. Let the excess blade wash drip off. Then switch off the clipper and wipe the blade dry with a lint-free cloth. Then, spray on a small amount of cool lube to reduce heat friction, prolong the life of the cutting edge, and prevent blade wear. Certain areas of the horse require special attention. The loose skin around your horse's elbow can make clipping difficult. Have a helper pick up the leg and pull it forward to stretch the skin. Clipping the neck along the mane also requires special attention. Try to clip the area in one smooth single stroke. Cut close to the mane, but be careful not to cut the mane hair. When you come to the throat, have your helper lift the horse's head as high as possible and turn it away from you to stretch the skin. When you come to a boundary you've marked with masking tape, make a clean edge by using a long, slow, and even stroke, following the line with the edge of the blades. If the hair grows at a right angle to the line that you want, run the blade directly up the line and slowly lift the blades to form a straight line. Finish up with the head and ears using an Oster A5 clipper with a number 10 blade. Cotton in the ears may help to deaden the sound and keep the horse quiet. Clip upward along the jaw to the edge of the cheekbone and the ridge of bone that extends backward between the eye and the ear. Then clip up to the base of the ear and the muscles at the top of the neck behind the ear. The face, forehead, temples, and outside of the ears can also be clipped, but be careful not to clip into the forelock. On the front legs, use the groom master to clip from the knee to the elbow, and then from the coronary band to the knee. Repeat the same procedure for the hind legs. When you have finished clipping, brush the horse to remove loose hair. Check for any rough areas or clipper lines. After clipping, your horse's coat will have a mousy appearance because the dandruff and scurf is close to the surface. A good grooming and hot towel treatment will quickly clean the coat right down to the skin. And here's the final look. Regular maintenance of your precision Oster horse grooming equipment is important. By properly maintaining your clippers, you'll be able to cut fast and efficiently while dramatically increasing the life of the clipper. A complete line of maintenance parts and products is available from your local Oster distributor or your Oster service center. You will need the following Oster products: blade wash, lubrication oil, spray disinfectant, and electric clipper grease. Remember, all clipper maintenance must be done with the clipper unplugged unless otherwise indicated. And be sure to read your operator's manual before using or maintaining your Oster clipper. Before using any Oster clipper or trimmer for the first time, it's a good idea to oil the blades. If the blade is detachable, remove the blade from the clipper and slide the two cutting surfaces apart so you can place just one drop of oil on each running rail and on the blade guide groove. Do not over-oil. One drop is enough. To oil a fixed blade, place a drop of oil on the front rail, back rail, and guide groove. When you're finished clipping or trimming, Use blade wash to flush accumulated hair from the blades. Apply a drop of oil on each running rail to help keep the blade sharp. Then, use spray disinfectant to kill germs and prevent the spread of fungus and skin infections. If after extended use, the cutting blades don't cut smooth and clean, the blades may need sharpening. Make sure you send the blades to an authorized factory service station and ask for a hollow ground edge. To change any fixed or stationary blade, first remove the screws and the blade. To install the new blade, insert the screws halfway. Then make sure the cutting blade is even. As you tighten the screws, continue to check that the blade is properly aligned. A cutting tooth that is out of line can nick the skin. For the A5 and Groom Master clippers, there is an additional 4-point maintenance schedule. Greasing all moving parts in the gearbox, checking the spring assembly brushes, checking the heel of the clipper, and oiling the ball bearing fittings. Both the A5 and the Groom Master have been properly greased at the factory. If used daily, the grease in the gear case should be checked every 3 months. Remove the faceplate to see if the grease in the gear case has the same color and texture as the new grease in the tube. If not, you need to replace the grease. Use a small screwdriver to raise and remove the lever, and then the link and gear. Clean all grease and dirt from both the parts and the cavity with a clean, lint-free rag. Re-grease and reinstall each part using only a small amount of grease, just enough to cover any moving surfaces. Then reinstall the nameplate. If your clipper suddenly does not start or runs much slower than usual, the problem is usually caused by worn-out carbon brushes. These carbon brushes conduct electricity to the motor and should be checked at least every 3 months. Simply unscrew the caps on both sides of the clipper casing. Then pull off the plastic cap. When you do, a spring will pop out. Gently pull the spring to remove the carbon brush from its slot. If the brushes have been worn down to less than 1/8 of an inch in length, insert a new brush and spring assembly in each slot. If the brush does not go in freely, simply rotate it 90 degrees to allow the slotted corners to fit. Every month, check the end cap of the clipper to make sure the vent is open. This allows a free flow of air through the clipper, so it runs cooler and lasts longer. Remove the 2 screws that attach the end cap to the clipper. Vacuum the end cap and barrel completely clean. Replace the end cap tab with the notch on the clipper barrel. Reinsert the screws and fasten the end cap securely. And finally, if your clipper ever develops a squeal due to a dry bearing, place a drop of oil in the oil cup located on the side of the clipper. Add only 1 drop of Oster non-detergent oil. We hope this video has helped you become more comfortable and skilled with your Oster clippers and trimmers. We encourage you to view this video often and practice the techniques shown here. And remember, for all your horse grooming needs, you can choose from the complete line of Oster Horse Grooming products. Oster, for more than 70 years, the leader in horse grooming.